Hello and welcome to Retail Week's head offices. I'm Luke Tugby, reporter here at Retail Week, and I'm joined today by Chris Brooke-Carter to look ahead to Retail Week Live. We've just announced our latest keynote speaker, Dave Lewis, the Chief Executive of Tesco. And Chris, he really does join a real stellar list of names this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think Dave Lewis obviously adds a real blockbuster name to an already fantastic array of speakers. There's been no bigger story than the Tesco one over the last 18 months, and I think people will be fascinated to get Dave's view on the future, not only of his own business, but the sector in general.
Yeah, like you say, it's been a real baptism of fire for him. You just look at what he's done in his first year there, obviously the profit scandal and everything he's done in terms of bringing in an Arcadia concession, restructuring head offices, that kind of thing. It's a lot to talk about for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's fascinating and why we're so pleased to have him on board is that he's really kept himself to himself. He's let his actions do the speaking so far. And I think what'll be so interesting for everyone to hear is actually this will be one of the first times he'll be stood up in public and really outlining what his vision is for the grocery sector going forward.
And as you say, a stellar lineup of speakers that he's joining, the likes of Jim McCarthy at Poundland, who's had a big year as well with the 99p store acquisition, representatives from Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Steve Morales from the Co-op, and Ray Calvin from Ted Baker as well. So some real big names in there.
Yeah, I think what we've tried to do really is listen to the industry and understand what they want from a first-class speaker lineup. And they've wanted not just the great stories about retail, but actually to have a look outside the industry as well. Where can they learn from? Where are they going to get inspiration from? Which is why we're so delighted to be joined by the likes of Starbucks, really, one of the most successful consumer businesses of the last decade or so. The likes of Coke, what that says. What retail can learn about what is effectively the biggest brand in the world, and then of course closing the whole of the event will be Amy Chandy, the MD of Alibaba UK, and I think that dovetails really nicely with the Dave Lewis story because you've got two huge businesses, both attracting an awful lot of press, but for very different reasons. One very mature, one just starting its journey on the UK. But there's every indication that that Alibaba business is going to be just as influential as Amazon, and it's going to be fascinating to understand what her view of the UK retail scene is, and for retailers really to understand what the influence of that business are going to be, not just in UK retail, but how it's going to affect their ability to take their brands abroad. Because of course, Alibaba is a fantastic platform for UK retailers to get into China.
Sure. And the other thing that we're really excited about here is the new venue this year. How much is that going to kick the event into a new gear, do you think?
Oh, it's going to make a massive change. It's going to bring all the stages onto one floor. It's going to bring our sort of exhibition space where you're going to get to see and interact with new technology, meet up and network all into one area. I think it's going to bring a vibrancy and an excitement that really reflect what's going on in retail in 2016. So I'm very excited about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers for that, Chris. And if you want any more information on Retail Week Live, which as we say promises to be the biggest and best yet, please do follow the information on screen, and we look forward to seeing you all there.